Hey folks, this is Kalani. Getting left behind in World of Warcraft is never fun, and whether you've been hard at work, spending more time with the family over the holiday season, not being able to get to the game as often as you might want, or maybe you even swapped characters entirely so you have to start all over again. Whatever it may be, I know plenty of players who feel like they're behind in various types of content. So in this video, we're going to have a look at what you can do to help catch your characters up to everyone else, and which systems let you get there a bit faster. Now before we jump in, be sure to pop by our live stream sometime over at twitch.tv/KalaniTV. We go live every Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday and Saturday, and we always love chatting with you wonderful folks, so I hope to see you soon. Alright, first things first, one of the easiest things to catch up with in the Shadowlands expansion is Renown. This is great news because Renown is fairly important for a variety of reasons. Renown will upgrade the rewards of certain systems, like increasing the max item level you can get from PvP and increasing the item level of World Quest rewards. All of your Covenant campaign and story is also locked behind Renown progress. Your Soulbind unlocks and upgrades are related to Renown. Different pieces of gear and transmog can only be earned as you climb through the ranks of Renown. Pets, toys, mounts and titles can also be earned through this system. It's a lot, so it's something almost every player will be interested in. Thankfully, the catch-up for Renown is both incredibly generous and very straightforward. If you are behind in Renown, you can earn extra Renown from almost any type of max level content. Your daily callings are one of the most reliable sources because they will tell you if they're going to reward a Renown or not. Just look at the calling rewards when you pick it up. Sometimes they will have Renown as an extra reward, sometimes they won't. So be sure to check your callings each day to see if the new one will help you catch up. If it gives Renown, go ahead and complete it. If it doesn't, it might not be worth prioritizing. But when I say that almost any max level content will help you catch up, I mean almost anything. Completing a dungeon has a chance to reward Renown. The world boss each week will give you a Renown. Taking part in battlegrounds can sometimes reward Renown. If you are doing anything to progress at max level, chances are you're going to get some extra Renown just by playing. Callings and dungeons seem to be the best bet for catching up quickly though. As you zoom through the early Renown levels, you will unlock more campaign quests as well. These all reward Renown, so be sure to work through them as they become available to keep caught up. The maximum Renown you can earn from these extra sources depends on the current max available Renown. So if a player who's kept up with Renown has Renown level 21, that's the max for that week. The level you can get to with this speedy catch-up is that max level -2. This is because you have 2 weekly quests that reward Renown, and also -1 for each campaign quest you haven't completed that is available at the max level Renown. Hopefully that makes sense, but basically if you want to catch up in 1 week, you should not hand in your 2 weekly Renown quests from your Covenant until you've finished every available campaign chapter and have earned enough extra Renown from callings, dungeons and other sources to reach the current cap -2, and then hand in your 2 weekly quests to get your final 2 Renown. If you hand in those weekly quests before that point, there is a chance you won't be able to earn enough Renown to get all caught up. That might not be a big deal for most players. You might not really care about getting all caught up in a single week, but it might also explain why you haven't been able to catch up fully in some weeks if you've been trying. If you are leveling an alt and trying to get them caught up, you can actually earn 4 Renown while leveling if you choose the Threads of Fate leveling path. Each zone has a big quest that rewards a huge chunk of experience and 1 Renown in a follow-up quest after you complete it. Every single thing you do relating to a zone, including completing quests, world quests, bonus objectives, and even running dungeons, will give you progress towards these quests. So by the time you hit level 60, you should have finished a couple of them at least, which is just a quick boost of Renown to get you going, and then you can catch up with the other sources listed above. Not every part of your Covenant Sanctum has a catch-up mechanic though. When it comes to farming for anima to fuel your Sanctum upgrades, you don't really have any way to speed things up, so you will likely be behind in anima and therefore Sanctum upgrades for a while. You can go out of your way to clear all the anima world quests to help get you caught up, but there's another problem you're going to run into. One of the weekly quests for your Covenant is to recover souls from the Maw. This starts off rewarding you with 5 redeemed souls per week. Redeemed souls are needed to upgrade your Sanctum as well as anima, and this quest is the only source of redeemed souls, and there is no real catch-up to earn any more. So redeemed souls will likely be your major bottleneck here, and the only way you can really try to catch up to that is making sure you complete this soul quest every single week. It is worth noting that because the max available renown level has now passed 20, getting to 15 can be incredibly quick by using some of the renown catch-up we talked about earlier. Renown level 15 is very important because when you hit that milestone, the quest to recover souls starts to reward 10 redeemed souls instead of just 5. So if you get to renown 15 quickly, you will actually start earning double the redeemed souls to help you catch up even faster. Another aspect of every character that every player will want to get caught up with is gear. Gearing up in Shadowlands is significantly slower when compared to previous expansions, almost no matter what kind of content you are doing, so naturally catching up is going to be a bit slower as well. The good news is we do have a few options to speed things along. If you haven't managed to get up above item level 170 yet, take another look at the auction house. This will obviously cost you gold, but it's much faster than plodding through dungeons hoping for some lucky drops. Now that the expansion has been out for a while, you should be able to pick up item level 168 crafted gear from other players or from the auction house. This will typically be a bit more expensive than the earlier crafted gear, but if you have some gold to spare, it can save you a lot of time in gearing up. Now, while you're here and checking the auction house, you may as well check out the Dark Moon card decks. They are item level 200 trinkets and their prices have plummeted on my server at least, so they're quite cheap and in some cases incredibly powerful. And an item level 200 trinket is a huge gear boost on top of everything else. Apart from buying yourself a few item levels, you're going to have to jump on the same gear treadmill as everyone else, and there really isn't too much you can do to speed it up. I strongly suggest you get at least one Mythic Plus Keystone done every week. This will provide you with at least one item in your weekly vault, which will nearly always be an upgrade for you. I would try to do as much content as possible to fill out the other choices in your weekly vault, such as killing raid bosses and taking part in rated PvP. More choices means you have a higher chance of getting an item that is an actual upgrade, and therefore not wasting that weekly loot. So anything you can do to increase the odds here is going to be incredibly valuable. Because the item level of weekly vault rewards are typically higher than the content you're running, or at the very least the same item level, it should provide some great rewards week after week. Outside of that, you're just going to need to run higher Mythic Plus keys or take part in normal or heroic raiding to get the big gear upgrades. Now, if you are really struggling to gear up your characters, I would recommend hopping into some battlegrounds. Whether you win or lose a battleground, you'll be earning honor. You can head on over to the PvP vendors in Oribos and straight up buy some gear with your honor currency. While the gear does start off relatively low at just item level 158, the great thing about honor gear is you can upgrade it with more honor. So if you earn enough honor, you can keep upgrading your PvP gear until it gets to item level 197, and the only restriction on upgrading this is your renown level. So if you grind out enough honor and you get caught up with renown, you can work towards item level 197 gear by just doing battlegrounds. You can use this to completely gear up your character or just to help fill in some of the lower slots you might have. The same goes for the Conquest vendor. If you venture into rated PvP and earn enough Conquest to buy that gear, that's a relatively easy way to get item level 200 pieces of loot. Upgrading these ones relies on rating though, so that might be a bit too involved for a lot of players. Another very important part of your gearing up progression is crafting and upgrading a legendary. To do this, you're going to need Soul Ash. Sadly, this is one system that doesn't really have any major catch-up mechanics. The maximum Soul Ash you can get from Torghast is 1,140 per week. You can get that if you clear both available Wings of Torghast on the highest difficulty, which is layer 8. That's the only major reliable source of Soul Ash, so if you're behind in this specific category, there isn't really anything you can do to go faster. Just make sure to clear Torghast on the highest layer you can each week, preferably in both wings, and you'll be earning a good amount of Soul Ash to help craft and upgrade your legendaries. Now, with that being said, there is one thing you can catch up with relating to Soul Ash. The story quests that you get from Bolvar to go into Torghast to find our captured allies used to have a weekly limitation on them, one set of quests per week. Now that all of the quests have become available, the dev team has also lifted some of the weekly restrictions for working through them. So instead of only being able to complete one story quest per week, you should be able to continue the story without the weekly time gating. Most story quests reward you with a good chunk of Soul Ash, and the total you can acquire from completing all of these story quests is 900 Soul Ash. That's almost enough to craft your very first legendary. So if you complete all of the quests that Bolvar gives you and you can go through the entire storyline, that will give you a quick boost of Soul Ash to get your legendaries rolling. Sadly, there does seem to be a few issues with the catch-up on these quests, because some players have been able to complete quests one after the other, while some players still have those weekly restrictions. Nadara and I both completed the Jaina story quest on some of our characters, hoping to be able to blast through the entire quest chain. She was able to continue with the next quest right away, no hesitation, no stopping, but my character wasn't. Couldn't pick up the quest, couldn't even accept the quest being shared. So this could be a bit buggy right now, or there might be something else that we're not too sure of, but this should provide you with another catch-up to work through. And that should be all you need to help get your characters all caught up with the major systems and features in the Shadowlands expansion. Is there anything that you are struggling to get caught up with specifically? Do you have any questions or queries about areas of the game that weren't covered in this video? Leave all your thoughts in the comment section below. If you want to come chat, hang out, maybe run a couple dungeons with us, you can find us over at twitch.tv/KalaniTV. We stream every Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday and Saturday, and watching the stream and coming to say hi is one of the best ways you can support the channel right now. And if you ever wanted to be included in the long list of names at the end of every video, a subscription on Twitch is the easiest way to make that happen. You get a free sub to any Twitch channel if you have Amazon Prime too, so be sure to take advantage of that. A big thank you to everyone who has subscribed on Twitch already, and to our supporters over on Patreon. You can see their names floating by on screen. If you want to join these lovely guys and gals, well, now you know how. Remember to leave a like just below the video before you leave, and if you want to see more, make sure to subscribe. But apart from that, thanks for watching folks, good luck and have fun, and as always, I will see you next time.